The second note, that's the tricky part of this Guthrie analysis. Why didn't they pay? What was in that second note? 5 days after Nancy was taken. Here's what a former Arizona reporter who covered the case and who says she saw the note says.
We did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. It went on to say that they never intended to hurt her during all of this. They continued and said she perished shortly after she was taken. They believe that it was heart-related. And maybe the most important part of the second ransom note, it said, "Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We are truly sorry."
So they did say they were sorry. Do we care? I don't know. But it was reported that they didn't. That's weird. And it's been reported that there was nothing in there about her dying, but there was, right? Why would this lady be lying, and how could she get it wrong if she actually saw it? Let's ask NewsNation Law and Justice contributor what this means, and in terms of what kind of person is this, okay? Justice contributor, of course, former FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer, as I call her, the Coffindaffer, and former special agent in charge of the FBI's Tucson office, Andrew Black, or as I call him, Andrew Black. So when we look at this situation of this note, one, it's nice to get the facts straight, Coffindaffer, you know, in terms of like what was in it, what is it? So what does this tell you about the person?
Well, this tells me some level of sophistication. Again, first of all, they cannot trace those IP addresses. Second of all, I think this whole note is malarkey, meaning nobody writes a ransom note like this. I don't think this was a soft sell. I think this was completely self-serving for this person whenever they are caught, that it looks like, oh, they're contrite, they're sorry. This was just a flowery, I'm sorry letter. It wasn't even a ransom note. And so that's my take. I also really believe this could be an English as a second language person that used AI to write this note.
Andrew, different take.
Yeah, when I look at this, I think we're giving the notes a little too much credit here. First, we have to authenticate the notes. Are these really the kidnappers who are writing these notes? Seemingly, it's credible because the author of those notes, in the first note particularly, provided information that either the kidnappers would have, the family would have, or law enforcement. But to me, that's not enough, because how well secure was that crime scene the first couple of days? That information could have been leaked out to individuals who we've seen already try to exploit the Guthries because of this tragic situation. So I'm not convinced the notes are legitimate. It might be, but I think it's too early to legitimize it, but I'm not saying they're fraudulent either. Additionally, if this is a legitimate kidnapper, why didn't they provide proof of life? Those are the rules of ransom. Kidnap someone, demonstrate proof of life, and then collect the money. And we don't have that here.
Coffindaffer, does the person who wrote these notes look like the person we saw on the porch, in your opinion?
No, it doesn't. I believe there's an accomplice. I do believe, with all respect to Mr. Black, I do believe that they're real, and this is why the FBI, I don't believe, in my experience, would put up that sort of a dissertation from the family. They had BAU, they used all of that to actually make the presentation, begging basically for proof of life. That would not happen if the FBI didn't legitimately believe these notes were real. And Savannah says they're real.
Right. Should they have paid, Andrew? I know the FBI says we don't think there's enough here, but is it wrong to be like filled with regret when then you get that second letter?
Well, you have to look at it logically. If the kidnappers did have Nancy, all they had to do was provide evidence that she was alive, then I would definitely pay the ransom. They didn't provide that. They had information they could have gotten elsewhere. I'm not saying that the ransom notes were not authentic or these aren't the kidnappers, but we just don't know at this point, and I don't like to speculate.
I got you. Listen, I got you. I wish we didn't have to. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.